Do you think the bat that did this, if it was still alive, would just be bragging to all his friends like a frat dude who banged a hot chick? You ate how many bugs? Well, I solved pollution. Hey, Greta Thunberg, looks like you got what you wanted. When I was a kid, I used to be scared of bats because I thought they would be vampires. And now, here's a vampire covering the song Bicycle Race by Queen.
I want to ride my bike.
My, have times changed. The way we explain something to ourselves really does have an impact on our happiness. According to the Happiness Advantage, there are two productive ways to discuss our adversity. The first, counterfact. A counterfact is an alternate scenario that our brains create to help us evaluate and make sense of what happened. We have a propensity to want to be right, to want to come out of something looking better than the other person or better than we actually are. This actually hurts us because it stops us from being able to see the whole picture. In a past relationship, I was angry at the other person because I felt that they weren't communicating enough with me. Is it also true that I was not communicating with her? Yes. Is it also true that maybe she was communicating with me? Yes. Is it also true that I may not be communicating with myself? Yeah, actually. Because we are telling ourselves a story about what happened, imagine yourself as the writer of your story. We can select a counterfact that makes us feel grateful or motivated or excited rather than helpless. And when we do that, we create a more positive mindset rather than being stuck with a perspective that actually works against us. The second way is by changing your explanatory style. Explanatory style is how we choose to explain the nature of past events. People who are more optimistic when they explain past events interpret the adversity as being local and temporary and short-term. Those with a more pessimistic explanatory style see events as more global and more permanent. According to the United States Military Academy, first-year cadets with a more optimistic explanatory style are less likely to drop out. At a past job, we worked for a management team that was... Have you ever worked for somebody who makes it seem like they're going out of their way to make your job more difficult? One particularly stressful shift where everybody seemed like they were at each other's throats, the tension was thick. Another server dropped a tray full of drinks in the kitchen, and everyone stopped and laughed. It was that laugh that we needed to let us know that everything was going to be okay, that we were going to get through this together, that just kind of cut the tension, that eased the stress. And then the manager came in the room, just red in the face, and he goes, "This is not the time or place to laugh." I worked at a comedy club. By definition, that was the time and place to laugh. And in that moment, I thought to myself, am I on the set of a sitcom right now? So every time he would come into the room from then on out, I imagined a live studio audience in my head cheering and clapping like it was Kramer from Seinfeld, like bursting through the door. What kind of wacky antics is he gonna get into this week? That one moment changed how I explained him to my friends, changed how I explained him to myself, and it changed how I felt about him, how I acted around him, and we developed a good relationship. So what is one situation, one person, one event in your life that could use a counterfact or could use a new explanatory style? And do it.